Hello my paper peeps. Welcome to another formula tutorial where today I'm going to be going through how to layer ephemera using the rule of thirds. Today I'll be sharing with you the 49 and Market Sage collection, and honestly this is going to be difficult for me because I love layering and embossing and flexing my mixed media muscle, but I have to contain myself because this journal will also have pockets and tags that I will feature in another video. But for today, let's focus on setting up your ephemera pages. Now, the first thing you want to do is grab the largest pages of ephemera that you have in your pack. And here I'll be using 5 because, again, I don't want to overdo the ephemera in the scrapbook journal. And we will be using the rule of thirds. So it's placing a subject in the right or left third of an image. In essence, you're discouraging the placement of the object in the center. Despite its name, the rule of thirds is a guideline, not a hard, fast rule. So you can create beautiful layered compositions without using this rule. This is just one composition technique. The rule of thirds gives you 4 crosshairs with which to target a shot's important elements. This will help you balance your main subject with negative space in your art that will draw the viewer's eye into a focal point, which is usually an image, a picture, possibly a piece of art that you want to showcase on that page. So the largest piece of ephemera here is this page. And what you want to do is take that base layer and place it in the middle, in this case in the middle of your page. And what I'm doing is visually dividing this base layer into 9 sections, and I'm going to use the bottom left as my focal point. So every layer from here on in will be layered and pushed towards that bottom left. And what I typically will do is say, hey, I'm going to layer something busy, and then on top of that layer something that's not so busy, and then again add something that has some texture or text or picture on it, and then follow that up with something that's completely different from that. So for example, here we have the base layer, and then we have a piece of ephemera that has no text on it, and then after that layered with another ephemera that has text, and then we've added an image, and then I always like to put some kind of sentiment in that area or an image in that area. In this case, it's a sentiment that becomes your focal point. And then the last thing we usually do is add some kind of 3D scrapbook technique. Usually it's a metal embellishment, a gem, a sequence, and some kind of embossing, maybe bubbles or trinkets. In this case, I'm using the bubbles and trinkets, or molding, you name it. It's endless, but again, I have to really contain myself. So here's another example of that whole layering effect that I was just talking about. And here I'm just dragging the whole image and your eyes into the bottom right corner. So I never want you to feel restricted. That's not my intention here. Really, this is just, this whole idea of rule of thirds is really one composition. There are many different compositions out there. Actually, your idea of what you find is beautiful and intriguing to your eye is a composition in itself. So please don't feel restricted. This is just a jumping point, a starting point for you and for those who are intermediate scrapbookers or for those who are beginner scrapbookers. It's really just a starting point, especially if you're overwhelmed when you get a pack of ephemera and you're like, what am I going to do with this? So use it as just a guideline. So one of the things I like to do to continue to add interest to the layout and to draw that eye into that third corner of the layout is to ink the edges of each piece of ephemera. That whole process really not only accentuates each piece of art or each piece of ephemera, but it really draws the eye in. Now this next page, they actually layered it for me. See, I did not glue these pieces together. That is actually one piece of ephemera. And I will place that right in the middle of the page. What I'm going to do is draw the eye to the bottom right. And all you have to do here is really add a sentiment. What I call it is bulking it up, is concentrating all your efforts into that one section, that 1/3 area with ephemera, artwork, embellishments, washi tape, you name it, just to draw that eye in. You can also make your own ephemera. If that interests you, watch this next video that shows you some techniques that uses materials you already have in your home. And if you found this video to be helpful, please stamp the like button so that this can spread to the rest of our crafting community. Thank you. If you're like me and obsessed with scrapbook journaling, then you'll want to watch this next video, which is one of my favorites. It's another formula tutorial on how to layer stamps. So I hope you enjoy that one. You take care and we will see you soon. Bye.